Hey guys, I'm Evie. I'm 24 years old and I'm a content creator and streamer for Blade and Soul Neo. Today I just wanted to release a little video because some people were asking on my other video that I released. They're just asking questions about the dungeon, and I had released a video that had no talking or no like words on it, so figured I'd post one today with me yapping in the background. But essentially, um, I will be spewing out all the knowledge and information that I personally know about this dungeon. I'll try to do it to my best ability. Feel free to leave in the comments if there's anything that I could do better, or if there's anything that I'm missing, like any information that I'm not talking about in the video that you think is vital to the dungeon. Feel free to spread some knowledge about the game. But yeah, so this first guy right here, the Stone Chubaro, you do not need to be in the dungeon for the kill of this one for the daily quest, but he does take one blessing. I pretty much just stand still and tank that shit. You can CC it. The second bosses though you cannot CC, so keep that in mind. He's pretty straightforward, so I'm just gonna skip through it. After you kill this one, you break this door to the right, and then it'll bring you up to a pathway full of mushrooms and snowballs, which you can iframe through, or party iframe. You can use like stealth or sheathe or HMB, and then you break this little totem that's at the top, and it gets rid of all of those obstacles. And then these second bosses right here, you cannot CC them. You also cannot stack them, because if you stack them, they get a little invulnerability buff, or like they just don't take damage. So make sure to separate them. If you CC them, they will jump, so do not do that. But a cool thing about these bosses is that you can stand 3 meters away and not get hit by his attacks. You need to be in the dungeon for the kill of these two guys for the completion of the daily quest. So if you're trying to just do your daily, make sure you're in the dungeon for this boss. And then of course you'll need the actual Yeti boss too at the end. So the first boss takes 1 blessing, second bosses take 1 blessing, and then the last boss takes 13. But yeah, pretty much stand still and take that shit from 3 meters away. Should be easy peasy. He drops a box, you pick it up, you go up to this pathway on the right, and then a bunch of little Yetis come running out. You can kill them or jump over them, but they throw like snowballs at you, and they kind of hurt, especially when a bunch of them land on you, so try not to get hit by that. And then we're heading to the final boss, which is the Yeti, and the overall like concept of the dungeon is to make sure you have the fire buff. You're gonna want 3 stacks of that, but you're gonna keep refreshing this fire buff throughout the dungeon. And his basic rotation is a 2 swipe half circle, a half circle stun, and he pretty much just like repeats that throughout the dungeon. But I'm gonna start late here. I poke for the first CC opening, so he does the 2 half swipe, then he does the half swipe stun, and then he opens up for a CC, which I will poke for. And then you're not going to want to KD the boss unless you have a pin, otherwise he has that get up animation. But we're gonna give it a pull, and then I'll pretty much just be yapping the whole time, so bear with me. So 2 swipe half circle. Half circle, if you get hit by that, that's a stun. I poke for the CC opening, we get a pin in. And he pretty much does this rotation until 90, where he jumps into the middle. He does that claw out, and then he does another 2 swipe half circle, and then jumps through the middle. And then he's gonna pull all of us in. So he absorbs the surrounding heat, he pulls us in, and he throws the tank. He gives the tank the heat buff, so you're gonna make sure you stack up all on top of each other, so that way when the tank comes back to you guys, he can give all of you guys the heat buff. Because if you don't get that, you will get frozen. And then he opens up for CC again. He does like 3 jumps. You see there's the KD animation right there, because we didn't pin. And then the big red AoE, we stealth that. And then he has a fire buff underneath him, which you're gonna go and refresh your fire buff. He does the 2 swipe, and then he does the half circle stun. And then he opens up for a CC. And then at 75, he jumps to the middle again. And then he does that same thing where he sucks everybody in and throws the tank. So we're gonna make sure all of us group up on top of each other so that we get that heat buff from our tank when he comes back to us. And then this is gonna be the first purple jump out of 3. Keep that in mind. And then he's gonna do that same rotation, but he has the fire buff underneath him. So refresh your fire buff, he does the 2 swipe, he does the half circle stun. And then as this is happening, I'm gonna pause it right here. You see this red AoE, you can alternate iframes or party iframes. So for the first one, we use stealth. The second one, we use sheathe. And then the third one, we use stealth again. But yeah, so we're gonna stealth this one. And then as long as you have the fire buff, you can pick up these icicles that are around you. And then he does his second purple jump. And then for this next big red AoE, we're gonna use sheathe. And then refresh your fire buff. Make sure you have 3 stacks of that. And then pick up these little icicles. Make sure you pick up all of them. And then this is his third and final purple jump before the mech. This is the last time you'll be able to get your fire buff before he does mech. So then he does the 2 swipe, the half circle stun. He does this red AoE again. You're gonna wanna stealth that. Or alternate party items, like I said. And then this blue ring, jump that. If you get hit by that, it clears your fire buff. And then right here, so pretty much he absorbs the surrounding frost, so you're gonna want to make sure that you got all of those icicles. If not, each extra icicle that he absorbed is equal to one extra slam. So he does 6 slams total. If he absorbs any extra, that's +1 per icicle. But thankfully, we got all of the icicles. So he absorbs the frost, and then actually, so you see him bang his chest right there. That's a good place where we can use like HMB if you have it. We don't. So since we do not have it, for the first 3, I'm gonna use my own party iframes. So like Q, E, SS. And it's good to use those first because if you fuck up one of your iframes, at least you still have those 3 stacks of the fire buff to use as those extra iframes. So I did 3. There's the 4th one, 5th one, and then the 6th one. And you see I have no more fire buff, but it's okay because that was only 6 slams. We're gonna sheathe this red AoE. And then fire buff under him again. And then he jumps. And then you're gonna wanna iframe that. And then he sucks again. Pretty much, Yeti do suck. Then he throw tank come back to us with fire buff. So make sure we stack up. And then as you can see, you know, like his rotation is pretty repetitive. So first purple AoE, you're gonna want to SS that, and then he does the 2 swipe, and then the half circle stun. You're gonna refresh your fire buff. We're gonna stealth this red AoE right here, and we're gonna pick up icicles. Oh, and then you jump. Anytime you see that blue ring, make sure you jump. Otherwise, it will clear your fire buff, and you will get frozen. So there's the second purple circle. And then we're gonna sheathe that one. Refresh fire buff, pick up icicles. I'm sure y'all get the point by now, but pretty repetitive. Third and final purple jump. Please refresh your buff here. This is your last time to refresh the buff before he goes into the mech. But I'm pretty sure we clear this one before he goes into the mech for the second time. So yeah, pick up icicles. You close out. There should be a blue circle here. You jump that. Don't get hit by that. He absorbs the surrounding frost. He did not absorb any extra because we got them all. But since we didn't have any extra, we were chilling. But it ended anyways. Yeah, so I'm sure y'all get the point of the dungeon. There's something I did not mention at first, so let me actually rewind real fast to it if it lets me. So for the very first um suck-in, let me skip to it. So for this very first suck-in right here, it's actually it's a red attack, so you can actually iframe it. Um, yeah, so this one, you can actually iframe that one and not get sucked in. You can iframe it, report it, iframe it. But for the other ones, all the other ones he does are purple, so you cannot do it. But that's just something you can do once you get the hang of the dungeon. It's pretty chill. But yeah, that's pretty much all the information that I know about this dungeon. Sorry if it wasn't really the best tutorial and if it was just like a lot of me yapping. I'll try to do better. So this is my first ever YouTube video where I'm actually talking. But yeah, y'all can find me streaming this game 2 to 3 times a week on Twitch at HeartEaterXO. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them or message me on like Discord, or yeah, just hop into the Twitch chat and like say something. Or if you have any constructive criticism, or if I missed anything important, just let me know. I hope you guys have a nice night and thanks for watching.